And that's the third, fourth and the fifth column, a 95% confidence level. You check on the one condition. Second condition, not the first condition.
What's this formula to help us determine?
So why don't you write down the 185 times 0.2
Because if you give it to us
equal
last
to
week's notes.
37, greater than equal to 10. On the fourth column, the next column, 148. And so only one condition. So did a good job. 95% confidence level. So what do you get?
Mm-hmm. And then the CD stands for critical value, and we have those on the board. I recorded it and I'll post it. But, and then he went through and showed us how to do it on the calculator.
Yeah,
And then,
she got it.
I don't know what number she's doing, number 2. So you just have to decipher.
Parentheses open, 0.14236, comma, 0.25764. So we are done with number 2. Any questions on number 1, number 2?
Yeah, for the M, 1 minus P head, how do you find it, like, on the calculator?
Because P hat is 0.2, that's a given number, right?
Yeah.
So 1 minus P hat is 1 minus 0.2 again. 0.8. 0.2, 0.8. By adding them up, you have to have 1, okay? P hat plus 1 minus P hat cancel out, you have 1. That should be the case. So 185 times 0.8, 148. Basically, what these conditions are doing, do we have a large sample? Greater than equal to 10. When you apply the population proportion and confidence interval, and that's the 2 conditions. So what is the third condition? Anybody remember the third condition? By any chance, it was in the note? The sample size is less than 10% of population. But we assume that this is,
And then this was the example we did for this one.
this condition is both valid. So we go ahead, do the confidence interval, so she got the numbers from the calculator. Next question. How do you match up all these numbers with this decimal? How do you get it? If you don't have any calculator, how do you get this two numbers? $1 million question. How do you get this numbers without going to the stat, test, A, Z interval? How do you get it?
Does anybody know how to do it without the calculator?
Or with a calculator, you need a calculator, but without going to the stat, test, A, Z interval, and 95%, how do you do that? Why don't you write it down? You want to write down the numbers? P hat is 0.2, right?
Yes. This is that formula he was just talking about.
Yeah.
So is the 1.96 always for 95?
Yes.
Okay, and then the 2.15 is always 99?
Yeah.
And then the same for the 1.645, always for 90?
Mhm.
Okay. So ladies and gentlemen, that formula is very important. You need to make sure you have this formula. I'll write it behind Monsieur's head. This is how you figure out your confidence interval.
So when you subtract this number from 0.2, you got to have this number, if you add them up. If you add up the numbers, and the square root would be a 1.96. And that should be equal to 0.25764. So let's get this number first. Everybody has a calculator? Can you give me the number? Square root of 0.16 divided by 185.
You have to use that formula in order to find the confidence interval. What's back here? So for those that were trying to quiz with me on Friday and yesterday, if you didn't have that formula and we were trying to do it via calculator and I said I didn't know how to do it, that's how you do it. And your CV stands for critical value, and then in replace of the percentages, the 99, 95, and 90, you gotta use those decimals, the 2.15, 1.96, and 1.645. So those should be the three numbers that you need to master in order to replace for the CV. You're substituting it.
I said 1.96 times the square root of this number is a 0.05764. So when you add up 0.2 to this number, you come up with this number. If you subtract, you must have the order of operations in the context of your confidence interval, critical value, it's all interconnected. You have to work out the decimals as exact as possible, and you have to understand what is going behind the confidence interval of the population proportion. Number 3, Tamari, let's check it out. 540, 0.25. $135, X, 0.25. 135 is greater than or equal to 10. And then 540 times 1 minus p hat, 405. What is the confidence interval? It's right here. Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I think the common mistake, they mix up the x and the n number, n and x mixed up. You gotta put the x number. N is all the time greater than x, okay? They mix up or put the decimal numbers for any one of these n or x, and they got the error. Good. Everything's there. Thank you so much.
Good job, Tamara.
Anybody want to try number 4? Try it on the paper first.
What?
Right here.
Just do the one minus this. So it's
You need
gonna
to
be,
fix that.
you got 125. I wouldn't use times because that looks like a variable like that, so you're just gonna do yeah, do the asterisk or a dot. So it's gonna be 1 minus 0.2, because you gotta use this one right here, which this becomes 0.8. So then it becomes 125 times 0.8. Well, you gotta multiply it to figure that out. Yeah, 125 times 0.8. You gotta multiply the n times 128. Or 0.8, I mean. Hey, make sure you try 4 and 5.
You write down your name on the board.
Watch your mouth.
You'll do number 4.
Do you know how to do 5?
No.
Oh.
Well, no, it's completely backward, so no.
If it's wrong,
What?
It'd be 100.
It'd be 100?
Wait.
What did you just say? I don't know, I didn't multiply it out.
It's 100.
Is it, or did you do, what number times 0.8? 125?
Yeah.
It's 100.
Yeah, it's 100. I'm like, I don't know.
It's plus student.
I mean, I know numbers, but not all of them.
Why is your hand all over my paper?
Yeah. When he comes back.
That was on my pencil.
When he comes back.
Why do you just have to? Huh?
Oh, I didn't see him, sorry.
I don't even need it to write.
You got all that shit. Miss High, can you trust the Miss High?
That's great. Okay, I'm gonna play it in there.
Wait,
I'm back. Pick it up. Yeah, I came out do not disturb this and I lost notification.
What you say, babe?
Came out do not disturb this and I lost all 6 of my notifications. I had to start over again. And I'm only at 15 now. You can't. You're only gonna make it 17.
Even if I can sense
Yes. Look.
it.
It's cold in here. Okay, and what about it? It's cold
Baby, I
outside.
ain't say nothing about your socks. I was acknowledging the fact.
I got arms, legs, feet, toes. This concert I wanna go to, it's sold out. So now what am I supposed to do? Nothing? Hey,
go another year.
I don't think she's coming back.
Who?
Mariah, the scientist.
Mariah?
Yeah.
Ew.
Huh?
Huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I don't like mine.
Ew.
Why?
No, she is obnoxious.
good job.
Great job.
Very good.
I don't like
Great job.
Beyonce either.
So write it down, this is number 4.
She overrated.
Star of the day, teacher of the day.
But I listen to her.
She's not overrated.
Yes, she
Yeah.
is.
Who would you put above her?
That's number 4.
That's
N is 125.
Y'all.
So write this one down.
There's more singers that has vocals just like her.
Come back to your set.
And more.
Stop talking. N is 125, I'm doing,
I'm not comfortable right there.
I'm not comfortable with your talking.
Okay, I'll shut up then.
Turn around,
I am turned around. I can
spit out your gum.
No, thank you. I just put it in my mouth.
Turn around. Your teacher is here, not there.
Okay, I'm looking at you though.
Still talking back, close your mouth.
Okay, go ahead. Teach
What
me.
an attitude. 125.25, 0.2, P hat. So she checked the two conditions and then hopefully put down 25 greater than 10. And then 100. After you just calculate the number and then put down the final result number. 25, 100. It shows the large sample. And she got the 90% confidence interval. Kenyon, for number 4, what did we do? I'm gonna ask the same question to everybody. What did we do for number 4? Why do we have to write down the so many decimals? What did we do? What did we do?
Then we round.
Jeremiah? What did we do? What are all these numbers all about? Numbers on the paper. Wrong. Jamari? What did you do on the board?
Number 3.
No, but he wants to know your
What are we
skills.
doing for this?
Yeah,
Close your
right.
Chromebook.
The hypothesis.
Hypotenuse. Write it down on the paper. We try to find, flip over your practice problem paper and write it down. We try to find confidence interval of the population proportion, write it down. That's a title word. Confidence interval, write it down. And I check it out, that word, the vocabulary should be in your paper. On the back of the practice problem I gave you today. Confidence interval of the population proportion. So what is the notation for population proportion? Is it P or P hat? P, okay, P. Write it down. We have to find the confidence interval of the population proportion. Notation is P. Why do we have to use the P hat then? Why? Because we cannot find the P, okay? We cannot find the P, so we have to have the substitute for P. We have to use the P hat, okay? Alana, what did I say right now? A moment ago. What are we doing? And then why do we have to use this notation in the letter? We try to find out what? Confidence interval of what? Population proportion. And notation for population proportion is P. We cannot find the P, so we have to use P hat. Okay? P hat is a sample proportion. What is the critical value of 90% confidence level? She wrote it down on the back. That's a 99%.
What'd you say, 90?
90%.
1.6,
How about 95%?
1.89.
How about 99%? Okay. What is the formula? To find out the confidence interval? P hat plus minus critical value times square root of P hat times 1 minus P hat over N. So last problem is number 5. I think the hardest problem in this set. So write it down. We only know the 0.25. And what is the confidence level? For number 5, confidence level. Read the number. Confidence level for number 5. 95%. What is the critical value? 1.96. Write it down. I'm doing number 5. Find the end. You only know the confidence interval. How do you solve for n? We go to higher number. What is the first step? How do you solve for n? For the points? What do you have to do? IDK, PDP, subtract 0.25. Point 27684 minus 0.25, what do you get? Give me the decimal. Terry? 0.27684 minus 0.25, what do you get? Zero point. Then what? Divide by 1.96. Then what is the next step? When I solve for n, you go to square left and right hand side. Find the number. That is the homework for tomorrow. Or you can do it on the calculator right now. Any other questions?